Ho ho buddies, welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Gareth and today we're playing 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. And this is episode 20, would you believe it? And last time we explored the shower room, I think it's called, where Snake was dead in. We solved that puzzle and then we've now... Can I have a look at the flowchart here? We've now jumped over to... this choice, and we've picked number 6, which has taken us down this route. So far we've got 2 different endings, and there's at least 3 more to explore. Okay, let's do it. So let's have a look. What is this? A tunnel. It goes all the way across the ship. Oh, and also when we came into this room, June, or Akane, had a... her fever basically came back and she had like a moment where she had to sit down. So I wonder what's going on with that fever. It goes all the way across the ship. Okay. I'd say this is probably here to move coal from place to place. Probably comes from over there. And then the belt carries it down the tunnel and out here. So if the conveyor belt wasn't moving... Yes, the coal would almost certainly come out here. Alright. Man, this thing is huge. I guess a ship this big needs something like that to power it. True, but I doubt a single boiler of this size could actually move a ship like this at any reasonable speed. You need at least 3, no, 4 of these. I guess you know a lot about boats, huh? Well, not really. It's just common sense, you know. Alright. Oh, there's a bunch of wooden boxes here by the wall. How would you look through those? There's nothing there. The stairs? What's these? The slider is down. Looks like Santa wants to give this one a shot. Ugh, damn it. Nothing. This thing won't budge. The 3 sliders on the left are down, but this one is up. Oh, that was weird. There are a number of lines engraved in these. I suspect we are meant to do something rather specific with them. Junpei, why don't you move that slider down? Well, there's no harm in trying, I suppose. Nothing. Nothing happened. Maybe it needs to be prepared somehow. You're saying if we did something somewhere else, it'll respond somehow. Yes, I suppose that's one way of putting it. Alright. Up here? This is the door we came through when we entered the steam room. Go up. Okay, so... What's in here? One of the doors on the furnace. There's an A on it. There's a circular wheel in the center of the door. Alright, let's give this sucker a twist. Well, it's noisy, but it opens. It's totally pitch black in there. We should go in here. Alright. Let's go. This looks like the door we went into. Where are we? We must be on the other side, yes? Which would put us directly above the conveyor belt. At any rate, we should keep moving. There's a great deal we've yet to investigate. Okay. One of the doors in on the furnace. There's a C on it. Can I go in there? Guess not. There's a catwalk over there. Yeah, if by catwalk you mean narrow strip of metal. Junpei, are you brave enough to cross that? If you were to fall, you do realize that broken bones would be the least of your problems. There's several catwalks spidering across the walls of the room. Okay, I'm not going that way then. Is this B again? One of the doors on the furnace. There's a B on it. Hey, Junpei, where you going? The only thing in here, there is a closed numbered door. Oh, I see. Okay, kind of pointless to go back, huh? Right, so we'd come out the other side. I thought there was another one on the other side. Okay, cool. That's fine. Yeah, sure is. So we can't go to this door. One of the doors on the furnace. There's a bee on it. There's a bunch of stuff in our way. So maybe we need to get on this side. Let's try. Where is B? There we are on the other side. Okay. What's that? That's a hand-operated winch. It's a simple machine used to lift things up and down. You simply turn the wheel to pull up the rope. Junpei, why don't you turn the wheel? Why is nobody else doing anything? The wheel. Alright, let's give this wheel a spin. What? That's weird. I don't feel any resistance. Gah! Ah, shit. Okay, we've got a wheel. It's a wheel that seems to be part of the winch. There's some pegs on the back that look like they go into the holes on the winch. Oh, okay. Okay. Good job, genius. You broke it. I didn't break it. It broke all by itself. Okay. Hand-operated winch. The wheel it once had is now in my hand. Let's see if I can get it back on. There's a couple of posts on the back of it that look like they fit into the holes in the winch. Damn, no good. These little shafts are too small for this big hole. It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway, to be honest. Why is that in the script? That's gross. If that's the case, then that wheel wasn't originally part of this winch. Then that means... Oh, okay, it's somewhere else. Maybe there's one on the other side. Maybe I need to go through door C, was it? How do I get to C then? This way? Hand-operated winch. There's no wheel to turn. Oh yeah. I've got the wheel I pulled off the other winch, don't I? Let's see if it fits. Kukonk. Sweet, it's perfect. It's a perfect fit. They were made for each other. Not shaky at all. Good. I should be able to turn this now. Good work, Junpei. We should be able to haul up the wooden box now. You see? The wooden box. It's under the catwalk. Can you see it? It's hanging from the rope on the winch, isn't it? It looks like there's some sort of device in the box. I'm not sure what it is. At any rate, you might as well turn that wheel now. I'm counting on you. Alright, I'll turn the wheel. Huh, what's this? What happened? This wheel only turns to the left. It only turns to the left. That means we can't reel up that rope. Yeah, we can only let the rope down. Interesting. I don't think that will be a problem. We'll simply need to go downstairs after letting the wooden box down. I'll be counting on you, Junpei. Sure thing, no sweat. That's what we want. I believe the box has reached the floor. Yeah. He stuck his head out over the side of the catwalk and looked down. The box that had only recently hung just below the catwalk had now sat on the floor. It had come to rest... this is so much better. It had come to rest near the end of the tunnel that covered the conveyor belt. June's down over by there. Junpei could see her, still leaning against the wall as if she'd barely had the strength to sit up. Even from so far away, it was not difficult to see that she had not improved. He almost thought he could see heat rising from her body. She doesn't seem to be improving. Ace's expression was inscrutable, but he'd said what they'd all been thinking. Well, of course not. She's not going to get better right away, you know. It'll take time. He tried desperately to convince himself that what he'd said was true. What could be causing this, I wonder? Illness, perhaps? Nah, it's got to be exhaustion. Santa's response was confident and certain. She gets dropped into some weird-ass ship, forced to play some messed-up game. If you think about it, it's a lot weirder than we aren't freaking out just like her, you know? So you're saying we're abnormal? Yeah. We're just running around this room solving all these puzzles like it's just business as usual. How the hell could you call that normal? We're just guinea pigs. Santa snorted in disgust. A guinea pig? You mean like a lab rat? You mean we're being used for some sort of experiment? Is that what you're saying? Dunno. It does seem like a possibility, you know. They stood there for a few more minutes, no one speaking until Santa turned and walked away from the winch. Junpei and Ace followed him. You know, speaking of experiments, Santa suddenly stopped. There was this experiment some scientists did with rats. Another one of these. First, they took a squarish, C-shaped tank and filled it with enough water for the rats to drown in. The tank has 2 exits. Just to make it easier, we'll call one A and the other B. Exit A is a pitch black, so dark even a rat can't see anything. But exit B is electrified, which means the rats can't leave through it. So what would a rat do if it was put in this situation? Which exit would the rat choose? There was a moment of silence after Santa posed the question, and then Ace responded. B, of course. The rat has no way of knowing that exit B is electrified. Exactly. The rat goes to exit B. Of course, like I said, it's electrified, which means the rat can't get out of the way. So, after a lot of trial and error, the rat finally finds exit A. I can't say that's very interesting or relevant. It's simply the story of a laboratory experiment. You're right, it isn't very interesting. Yet. What? See, these scientists repeated this experiment over and over, using hundreds of different rats over several generations. This produced some surprising results. With each generation, the rats took less time to find the correct exit. Eventually, a rat was put in the tank who instantly chose exit A without even attempting to go to exit B. But that wasn't the most impressive part. The same experiment was conducted in another laboratory, far from the original one, with the same results. No, on second thought, the results weren't really the same. The rats in this second experiment began the trials with significantly faster times than the first rats in the initial one. These rats weren't related to the others and had never even come in contact with them, and yet they all easily found their way to exit A as though they already knew. What did it mean? I mean, I get that they need to retell the same logic idea because you're going through different paths. But if you're trying to get to the true ending, you come across this exact same style of message in this story about the idea of I don't know, ideas crossing between minds of different animals and people, despite them not knowing each other. It's like, it's kind of boring at this point, isn't it? Are you suggesting something like telepathy? You are passing information to one another through some undetectable medium. I mean, I guess the other thing that we can look forward to is some other information. Because last time we had Seven and Lotus, and we discovered that Lotus has children that Seven knows about. So maybe we'll find something like that in this. Ace looked skeptical. Santa snorted at him. How the hell would I know? I'm not any kind of scientist. I don't know what made them do that. But I do know that story's true, and if you've got another explanation, I'd sure love to hear it. Come on, let's get going. There's still a lot here we haven't checked out. We've got to get the hell out of here before June passes out. Without waiting for a response, he turned around and started walking. Junpei, however, wasn't quite ready to leave the topic alone. Hey, wait, there's something I want to ask you. What? Santa stopped and turned around. Why did they use that tank for the experiment? Huh? Well, I mean, it seems like you could conduct the same experiment without the water. They could have just used a dry box, you know? If they needed to motivate the rats to escape, they could have, I don't know, put some bait by exit B or something. I mean, do they really have to make it so the rats can drown? Santa gave a grim bark of a laugh. You know, the word emergency comes from the same root as the word emerge. You ever think about that? Not really. Well, an emergency is something urgent, often something dangerous. And to emerge means to come, sort of come out or appear or rise out of something else. So what's going to emerge in an emergency? Inspiration. Inspiration. Yeah. Think about it. When the chips are down, either you crack or your mind focuses and pulls up what you need. So in an emergency, your real potential emerges. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. That's why the rats had to drown. They had to be in danger. There had to be an emergency for inspiration to emerge. That's how telepathy occurs. Junpei suddenly felt cold. The back of his head was aching and his stomach felt strange. Oh, okay. So I guess we got to go see that box. The catwalk here is shaped like an M. How do we go back? There we are. Okay, down we go. Where's the box? Oops. There's the box. Control panel for something. Some kind of machine. Maybe a control panel. Alright. Does that have something to do with the buttons, maybe? Okay. So I don't think it's to do with this, right? Yeah, I don't think so. Let's see if I can get this thing to go anywhere. Ah, no dice. This thing isn't going anywhere. Alright, so it's got to be something else. There's a pair of wooden boxes here. There's nothing in them. Oh, okay, thanks for letting me know. Look, Ace. It's some kind of snowman secret meeting. Those are just bags of sand. You use them as a counterweight when you're lifting something with a pulley system. Man, you're too serious. What about this? Is this supposed to go in here? Yes. Maybe this hole is where the control panel goes. Well, there's only one way to find out. In you go. Dude, you did it. Everything looks alright. Okay, but what do we do now? Why don't you press the button next to it? The orange one. Yes. Alright, I'll do that. Pushing! Hehehe, pushing! Sweet, all sorts of lights are lighting up on this thing. Oh, and yes, I think I've just heard something turn on. Oh? What's that? What happened? Junpei, look, the conveyor belt's moving. The conveyor belt? Okay. I guess it's done moving now. There's still a bunch of coal on the belt, though. Looks like a bunch of it got dumped off at the end of the belt. Into that wooden box where we found the control panel. Coal. Coal. Huh. Is that it? Okay. Since the belt started moving, it's transported quite a bit of coal. It all drops off the left end of the belt right into the wooden box. Box filled with coal. Alright. Okay. Am I supposed to put it in here? It's the huge oven for this boiler. There are 3 open areas in it. Each of the open areas has a gear in it. Okay. Maybe I'm clicking on the wrong bit. No. I thought that's where you put the coal. Maybe not. There we go. There's a hole that'll let us put coal into the furnace. Maybe if we can get some coal in there and set it on fire. Okay, let's do it. Alright, that's the last of it. No coal left in the wooden box. And nothing. Great. Well, I guess I should have expected that. Why would just throwing coal into the cold furnace do anything? Oh, well, a man can dream. Junpei, explain it to me again. You're planning to stoke the furnace with coal, which will heat the water stored up there and make steam, which will then drive something else. Am I correct? In other words, you want to generate enough pressure with the steam to power the turbine and drive the steam engine, right? Yeah, I guess that's the gist of it. Well, in that case, this isn't enough coal. This furnace is enormous. So we're going to need a whole hell of a lot more coal than this. Very well then, if the three of us work together, then we should manage to fill it much faster. Oh, good. I thought I was going to have to do that on my own. I want to help too. Man, I totally didn't even see her walk up. I didn't see her walk up. Or wake up. Are you feeling up to that? Yes. Yeah, right. You look like you're one stiff breeze away from falling over, June. I think you better rest some more, alright? But no arguing. You need your rest, so you just stay there. We'll handle this. Okay, I understand. Good night. Alright, time for some manly work. Let's get this coal into the furnace. Man, this is a lot of work. Alright, I think this should be sufficient. Alright, now we just gotta light it. Junpei, hand me your matches. What makes you think I have matches? I see. Then how are we gonna light it? Perhaps there's a device nearby that'll allow us to remotely ignite the coal. Let's take a look, shall we? Some sort of ignition device, huh? Okay, is that the thing on the top that we saw? Up here? Is this? I think it might be. It probably is. I think this is how we might ignite the furnace. That means that if we move the thing down... Alright, let's do it! Here we go! Hey, Junpei. Ace, look at this. There's big gears turning under the boiler here. Huh? Oh, there's a thing? The gears. They're spinning. What the hell are you guys waiting for? Let's start looking. Okay. Gold disc? Where are the other ones? Are they on a different floor? Oh, here we are. Bronze disc. Huge oven for this boiler. There's a big gear built into part of it. How do I get to... Pretty sure that's where there's another one. There's a big gear built into part of it. There we go. Jesus Christ, that was difficult to click on. Silver disc. Okay, so we got bronze, silver, gold. Okay. So we're going to have to find something that has... It's not this. No. Okay. Several catwalks spanning across here, maybe? Hey, Junpei, what are you doing? It's hotter than hell in there. Of course I can't go in there. Did you already forget that we lit the furnace? Ah, yes. You're right. Okay, so... That's the door we came through, so maybe there's one on the other side. How do I get to the other side? Ah, okay. Ah, okay, there we go. Here we are. Right, so now it looks like this thing unlocks the door. There's a depression here that looks like it's the outline of 3 discs laid on top of each other in a triangle. Maybe if you put those 3 discs we found into this thing. Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's stick them in! Huh. That's odd. Nothing's happening. Maybe, I don't know, put them in the wrong place? Perhaps you have to have them facing the wrong direction. Perhaps you should rotate the disc to make sure some of the lines connect to one another. Well, no harm in trying. Instructions for operation. When the disc is clicked, it will rotate a certain amount. The right arrow is clicked, the discs are switched. Okay. Please note where the discs are switched, the angles for the discs are reset. Oh my god, okay, so... Okay. Right, so... Okay. But this doesn't match up, does it? Oh, there we go. The red lines on these discs. I think maybe I can make a star polygon with these. You found it. Yes, the door's open. Given the circumstances, Junpei's happiness was certainly understandable. Ace seemed to share his excitement. Alright, Junpei. Why don't you go get June now? Santa and I will keep an eye on this door. Santa snorted. Why do we need to do that? Even if it shuts, we all know how to solve the puzzle now. We could just open it again. Well, I suppose that's true. Should all 3 of us go and collect June then? Nah, I'm cool. I'll let Junpei handle it. He still seemed irritated by something, however, and sat down on the stairs petulantly. So, are you only interested in being contrary? Ace sighed with the air of a long-suffering parent. Alright, I'll go get June. I'll be right back. Give a quick nod to Ace and Santa and dashed off down the stairs. Before long, he was back on the first floor, next to the conveyor belt and June. Oh, Jumpy. As he drew closer, she stood up slowly. Are you okay? He did his best to sound calm and nonchalant, but there was no hiding the genuine concern in his voice. Yes, I'm fine now. I'm sorry I made you worry. June blushed. He wasn't sure if she was embarrassed or still feverish. Let me check. Just to make sure, he reached out and put his hand against her forehead. Ah! Good, you're feeling a lot better. She was feeling far less warm than she had earlier, but still wasn't down to what seemed normal to him. Are you sure you're all right? He had to be sure. June gave him a look. Oh, you're such a warrior, Jumpy. Oops, I mean, warrior. June giggled. He wasn't sure if she'd just made a joke or not, but seeing her smile again made Junpei feel at ease. If she was well enough to smile and laugh, then she really was feeling much better. He gave her a friendly poke on the forehead. Alright, let's go. Go where? Oh, right, I didn't tell you. We got the exit open, so... Great, let's go! June clasped her hands together and nodded urgently. They headed back to the exit, but on their way they found... Oh, it's... Santa. Santa was sitting on the stairs. He was, however, holding something in his right hand and staring at it with a strange expression. Junpei and June slowly slowed down and finally stopped in front of him. What are you looking at? Santa answered without looking up, his voice quiet. It's a photo. It's my sister. Sister? Santa, you've got a sister. Santa simply nodded. Yeah, kid was as cute as a button. June cocked her head, confused. She was only about an inch tall then. Santa glared at her. Sorry. I guess an inch is a little large for a button. Probably more like a half-inch. Santa didn't smile or laugh. Sorry. Why are you looking at it? He simply turned back to his picture and spoke. I was her Santa Claus. Wait, what? This sudden revelation took Junpei by surprise. He had no idea what Santa meant. He glanced at June, who shook her head. She didn't know either. We didn't have parents. They bought it in an accident when we were still kids. So I had to be like her dad. And that meant that I brought her Christmas presents every year. On Christmas Eve, I'd leave the present next to her pillow. And the next morning, she'd come running into my room with this big smile. Look, Santa left me a present. He got me that doll I really wanted. I'm so glad he got my letter. She was always so excited. I was the one who told her to write those letters. I'd say, write down something you want and mail it to Santa. The address I gave her was somewhere in Northern Europe. That doesn't exist. Anyway, she'd write the letter and stamp it and send it out. And then a few days later, it'd show up back in a mailbox marked address unknown. I'd open the letters before she figured out they'd been sent back. Once I had the letter, I'd go around to a couple stores with some money I'd saved up over the year and buy her the stuff she'd asked for. It took a lot of saving, but I managed to buy her presents every year. Junpei was silent. He could think of nothing to say. June looked down, uncomfortable. The wall next to him suddenly groaned. Either he hadn't heard the sound or didn't care. Santa kept talking. One year, the letter was different. She didn't write a list of toys she wanted or anything like that. Instead it said, I don't want any presents this year. Instead I want you to make my wish come true. My wish is that we'll be happy like this for a really, really long time. That was it, nothing else. But I couldn't make that wish come true. Because I had to make this boat full of escape room traps. Some Santa I am. Santa looked sad. Junpei had never seen him look sad before. He wasn't sure he liked it. Cheer up! Junpei decided it was probably best not to ask Santa any more questions. But... what happened? June glanced up at Santa quickly as she spoke. He answered, but only with an effort. She died. She was killed 9 years ago. Oh. There was nothing Junpei could say. His heart felt like a great lump of lead. June bit her lip and looked away. Her face was pale. Alright, let's go. Santa stood up suddenly, his downcast demeanour gone. He shoved the picture back in his pocket and headed back up the stairs, taking them two at a time. Junpei and June looked at one another. There was nothing they could think of to say. Hey, what are you two doing? Let's get moving, come on! Santa's voice echoed across the room from above them. Let's go. Yeah. They nodded and followed him quickly up the stairs. Ace was waiting for them at the top. He was leaning against the handrail. He looked very tired. You're finally back. The door had shut, but it wasn't cause for concern. Sorry we took so long. Junpei quickly solved the disc puzzle a second time, and the door opened once again. Let's go. In single file they walked through. After walking for nearly 15 feet, they found themselves in front of a metal door. It opened easily enough, And they pass through it as well. A new room stretched out before them. Is this a warehouse? No, I believe this is a cargo room. This must be where they store all the vessel's freight. There are wooden crates everywhere. I wonder how old they are. Junpei, Ace, and June had stopped unconsciously pausing to take in their new surroundings. Santa's voice broke through the momentary trance. Well, we probably ought to start with finding the exit, right? Let's get going. Whoo! Escape rooms after escape rooms after escape rooms after escape rooms. Seek a way out. Cool. So we'll be doing this next time on Borderline Games. Thanks so much for watching this episode of 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. And I'll see you next time. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.